to the International Wealth Builders Radio Show with your host, Dr. Sharon Barnes. You can find me online at ADU Advantage, YouTube, Sharon Barnes Real Estate. And we're here with TR the Loan Guy, talking all about loans and financing your real estate purchases and investments. And we're getting into my area that I love, accessory dwelling units. So, TR, you will continue. You were telling us about how to finance different products and ADUs.
Well, absolutely. Again, we have roughly 3 basic ways to finance the ADUs besides you just paying out of pocket. The first was a traditional cash out refinance loan of your property. As long as you have equity in the home, we can go up to, in some cases, 85 to 90% of that. And you can pull out the equity of the home and utilize that to simply pay for your ADU. Once you close this loan, the cash is deposited into your bank account. You then take that money and you can pay your contractors and all of the things that we need, okay? The second way to do this is, again, you have to have equity in the home, but we can do a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. And what the HELOC is, again, you have to have equity in the home. We tap into that equity, but we don't refinance the entire home. We only refinance a portion of that equity. So you still have your first mortgage. We don't touch it. But now you have a second mortgage, which is a HELOC. And normally a traditional HELOC, you have 2 different ones. You can have a 30-year HELOC where you have 10 years and you can have 20 years to pay it off. Or you have the ones that we kind of go into now where you have a 20-year HELOC. 10 years you have a line of credit where, let's say you get $50,000 out. You can utilize that line of credit. You can pay it back. You can utilize it again for up to 10 years. After the end of the 10 years, that line of credit is closed, and whatever has not been already paid, so let's say you have $25,000 still owed on it, now you have 10 years to pay off that last 25%, and then once that's done, it's closed. So the difference between a cash out and a HELOC is a HELOC, you're going to have 2 separate mortgages. The first, which is your main, and the second was the line of credit. And you pay that off as by the end of the 20 years.
And I think what we've seen is that, as you mentioned earlier, that the before COVID and everything, we had interest rates down to 2.5.
Yes.
So we've had clients that want to build accessory dwelling units, and they love their interest rates, and they don't want to touch with the increased interest rate, so they decide to go with a HELOC. And so we've seen quite a few HELOCs. And what surprised me when I started looking at accessory dwelling unit, I was thinking it would be the older individual with the small house that's been there for 20 years that wanted to do the accessory dwelling unit. And what I'm finding is that it is the homeowner that had the property, say, 5 years, because the property values went up so high, and they have so much cash. Even now, I mean, we say they're coming down slow, but if you bought several, years ago, 5 years ago, you're still sitting on a nice amount of equity.
You are.
And everything. And so what we're seeing is that these young adults that have been fortunate enough to buy their home in the last 5 to 7 years are taking out HELOCs to build accessory dwelling units. And from the ones I talked to, I would venture to say about 60% is to take care of family, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so even if they're not looking to make rental income from it right now, it still increases the property value, it has tax benefits, and it benefits the family. So taking out that HELOC and improving your property, it still works out. So yeah, I think this is just awesome. But I just wanted to point out, when we talked about the elephant in the room, those high interest rates, that one of the tools that you are able to use to help people is the HELOC to make improvements to their house, to build an accessory dwelling unit, and not touch that great loan interest rate that they have already.
Absolutely. The HELOC is a great program, and because it's usually so much smaller than a traditional loan, the monthly payments are a lot smaller as well. So it is a great way to do it. And I didn't mention, but usually the first 10 years you're only paying, it depends on the product you get, you can pay either interest only, And then once that interest-only time is up, you can go from to the regular amortization schedule, or classic HELOCs, you pay both interest and principal as well.
Okay.
But are you about to go to lunch?
We got a couple minutes. I just want to talk quickly about the construction loans, the rehab loans that's out there. If you can just give us a little synopsis of those type of loans.
I was just about to get to that. Renovation loans. If you do not have equity in your home, let's say you just bought your home, but you want to add an ADU and you do not have equity in your home, renovation loans, whether it's FHA 203K or Fannie Mae home-style renovation loans, are a great option. And the reason why, Sharon, is because we're going to loan money off of the future value of the property once the project is done. So when you add that ADU, you're adding square footage to your already existing property. And so after it's built, your home is going to be worth more than what it's worth now. And we're going to take the loan to value of the project, and then we're going to loan you money based off of that. We refinance the first mortgage. Let's say your ADU is worth, it's going to cost you $150 to build. And we add 10% for contingencies, the what if something happens type deal, and then the contractor needs more material. We then add that $165 to your first mortgage, and it's called a renovation loan. It's kind of a construction loan, refinance hybrid, and once it's completed, then you're done. It's like a regular mortgage.
So even what my understanding is that for like every $100,000, the payment on that is about $560, even with the current interest rate.
Interesting. Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We're going to wrap up talking about financing accessory dwelling units and give you some tips for the road. So please stay with us and join us after the break.